We've got to move on, though, because we're focusing now on Arsenal's clash with Brentford. Let's hear from the managers. Here's Mikel Arteta and Thomas Frank.
Good start. What's the team news ahead of that one?
Not much. We had got some players back last Monday, and then we had Martinelli and Bukayo with little issues. We are pretty positive that hopefully they can be part of that, but we'll have to wait and see how they feel tomorrow.
One change you will have to make, of course, is in goal.
Yeah.
With Aaron Ramsdale coming in for David Wright, I would assume. When you look at that situation, would you rather him have had a bit more game time going into such a big game like this?
It's what it is. He's fully prepared. He trains really well every day. He's desperate to play, like the rest of the boys that haven't had that many opportunities. And on Saturday is a great day for him.
What's his mood and his attitude been like around?
He's been brilliant. He's been really good, really supportive, really pushing every day in training like I expected, and it's a joy to have two top goalkeepers in the team.
Mikel, either side of the new year, you had those 3 defeats in a row, 2 in the league and the FA Cup exit as well. Then you had the warm weather training in Dubai, and it's been in the league at least 7 wins in a row, 31 goals scored. Can you give us a bit of an insight into what happened there, what you said to the players, which players were quite forthright about what was going on beforehand?
Yeah. Well, it was necessary. Obviously, we had a really tough period before that. We played so many games. We had some defeats, especially not deserving to lose matches. But I think it was something as well that probably was necessary to keep improving and keep demanding ourselves. The weather, the temperature, some of the things that we had time to work on to improve as a team as well. And everything clicked, and then we won. We were playing good, and that helps.
Do you think you'll look back on that as maybe a turning point in your season, that trip?
Well, it was really good. To be fair, it was a perfect timing for us. What we built there, the chemistry, the energy that it was around the place, the amount of time that we have to spend together and enjoy that part, whether it was on the field, out of the field. It was a really positive trip.
Brentford last season in the home game, we know what happened. There was an error with VAR. Does that still irk you, and is it something that motivates you when you go into this game?
Well, every point that we left or we left this season, it hurts, and obviously it's still there, and that's it. But we have a lot to play for. We know the difficulty of the match is always really tough. We played them twice already, and we suffer, and we always suffer against Brentford. And on Saturday, I expect a very similar match.
I guess for you, it's just to get the job done on Saturday, and then we'd be watching a certain game that's happening on Sunday at Anfield, Liverpool.
And that's the only thing we can control, and perform well and play better than them and earn the right to win the game. And let's do that. And if we do that on Sunday, yeah, it's a beautiful game to watch for any football supporter, and I will certainly be watching it.
Do you care about the result?
I can control it. I will enjoy a magnificent game of football, which were the best teams in Europe in the last decade, and let's see what that brings. But the focus is on us and Brentford.
I thought you'd answer it like that, but privately, do you have a preference?
No, privately and publicly, I have the same one because it's nothing to do with me.
Okay, just one final one from me, just on the contract situations of some of your players. I know you're wanting to tie a lot of your players down to longer term contracts. Can you tell us anything on Ben White and Tomiyasu? Are they close?
Not really, and I leave that more to Edu and the club to announce those things when the times are right.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Irish. Was it Alice from the Premier League?
Thank you. Miguel.
Hi.
21 goals scored in the last 4 league games, just the 1 goal conceded. How satisfying are these performances for you as manager right now, and what sort of a message are they sending out to your title rivals?
Yeah, it's great because it shows obviously the quality and the consistency that the team is showing, and then the way that we have scored those goals as well, not only the manner but as well the personnel. So it's really positive thing to see, and then the fact that we are conceding very little defensively. So those 2 ingredients together are very powerful to get results and to get consistency, and we want more.
Sure. So Brentford up next for you on Saturday. Then victory, of course, would send you top of the league. Would it be safe to say that your players need no more motivation than to put the pressure on Liverpool and Man City to have to respond to your result on Sunday?
Yeah, we know the demands that we have. We know the demands that Brentford are going to ask us to put to win the match, and then the fact that we are still not there, and we want to be better than where we are at the moment. In order to do that, we have to continue to win.
I know you've not given much away there on your preference, but can we assume maybe that you'll be hoping to see Liverpool and City both drop points with a draw at Anfield?
Honestly, it's nothing to do with me. I will sit there with my kids and enjoy the match.
Worth a try. To have just 2 points separating the top three, less than a third of the season left to play, some might say that this is the best title race we've ever seen. Would you agree with that?
Well, I can imagine that for a lot of people it's very interesting, and we want to make it very interesting, especially for us. So we have to keep going.
Okay, after the Sheffield United win, I know you spoke about the fact that the signings you made last summer are playing such a pivotal part in your current momentum. Kai Havertz's one of those, absolutely shining right now. I just wonder, how pleasing is it for you to see the impact he's having both on and off the pitch, particularly given that there were some questions asked earlier on when he first joined?
Yeah, it tells about his character as well, and how he has dealt with all those question marks, and the attitude that he showed all the time. When things were not that good in certain phases of the game, but he continued to work hard. That's what is love for everybody here. And then, we can see his quality, we can see his intelligence on the pitch, and the contribution he's having to the pitch. So obviously very happy with him.
Yeah, and on quality, another one of those summer signings, Declan Rice, enjoying his most prolific Premier League season so far, 5 goals and 5 assists. He, though, says that he wants way more than he's got right now. How contagious is that mindset among this group of players you're working with?
Yeah, that's something I think is amongst the team, that they want to keep improving. They all believe that they have still another year or two to go, and that's the level that we want to push them to, and we are achieving it with the majority of the players, and we have to continue to do that.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you.
Brad from TalkSport.
Hi Mikel,
Hi.
hope you're well. When you first became Arsenal manager back in 2019, when you look at the way that Arsenal are playing at the minute, is this always how you envisage your Arsenal side to play like when you first took over?
Very difficult to do it if you don't know the players that you have. At the end, you have to adapt to the players, to the qualities they have, in order to play and achieve what you want to do. But I'm really satisfied with the way the team plays.
And what changes do you notice in your side this season? Do you feel they're more experienced, maybe more wiser than what we saw towards the end of last season?
Yeah, experience is a factor. They have played more time together as well. They understand the system better. They understand the way we have to compete and the demands that we have to put to ourselves better. And then the confidence grows when results go their way, and performances as well. So.
And on Kai Havertz as well, how key is he to the way that you want to play and the way that you want your forward players to press from the front? Yeah,
his ability, obviously, to occupy spaces, but as well in transition moment to exploit them. The aggression that he has in high press is really, really good. He has the physical qualities as well to play very different kind of games, and that's an attribute that we thought was going to be very positive for us.
And Arsenal legend Thierry Henry said on the TV on Monday that he can see similarities between Declan Rice and Yaya Toure. I wonder what your thoughts are on that, and maybe how many more goals Declan Rice could get going forward in the future as he tries to...
Very good players to get compared to, because Yaya was an incredible player, and what he did in this league, he was outstanding, and Declan wants more, so that's a good sign.
That's great. Best of luck Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Mikel, I was
Hi.
just wondering on Aaron, when we've seen him on the bench, he still seems very invested in what's going on the pitch, and I was just wondering, we all know he's a big personality, how big has that been for you, I guess, with what was a difficult decision to, I guess, leave him on the bench at times?
Yeah, one of the toughest things is to deal with the players that they don't have in the amount of time that they deserve, and not only Aaron, but with many of those, but we have an unbelievable group of players where we try to be straight and explain things and be close to them and give them the support that we want, and then when they have the opportunity at the end, they want to contribute to the team the best possible way, and that's what Aaron will try to do on Saturday.
And slightly different kind of theme, I was wondering, a lot of people have this concept of rest and how, I guess, gaps in between games are quite good for teams, but I was wondering, do you maybe prefer having the momentum that you may be able to build when there's a shorter period of time between games?
Well, we had a very strange schedule lately, you know, because we have a long period after Newcastle and this game. The same happened a week or two ago, but we have adapted, and now we have to have the capacity to adapt to that. It's true that now we're going to have two games very close to each other, and then we're going to have a big gap again after the international break to Man City. So try to plan it the right way to maximize the time that we get.
Okay.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You spoke there about Aaron being left on the bench and his positive reaction to it. At Sheffield United, obviously Eddie, Reece and Neil were also left among the subs. I know there's lots of reasons why you made the subs you did that night, but when things like that happen and maybe they're not getting those opportunities, are there any fears in your mind that maybe you lose them a bit mentally going forward, or do you think they're just as switched on as they always have been?
We discussed that thing. We cannot play every player every game, you know, and those players played a few days ago against Newcastle, and they have the opportunities to do that. And now we have 5 subs. Before we had only 3, so we have another 2 players happy. You know, that's the way I take it. But you're always going to have players that want to be involved and play. But unfortunately, it is impossible. It's nothing. It's not in our hands. It is impossible to achieve that. So they know that.
Have you pulled any of those specifically aside to say that this is what's going on, you'll get your opportunities later on if you keep sort of playing right on the training ground?
Yeah, but you cannot really promise anything. You know what's going to happen in a week time, in 3 or 7 days. But just, I think we have to show the compassion, and we need to feel. They need to feel that we are next to them and we understand where they are. But the reality as well is this is football, it's a team sport, and you have to understand and fulfill the role that you have in the moment. And it might be very different in 3 weeks' time.
Slight gear change, but I remember with the Man City Amazon documentary, when you were working with Pep, there was a big game that Man City had. I can't quite remember what the game was, but you guys all went out to dinner and watched the game together. I just wondered, with Man City Liverpool this weekend, will you be doing anything with your coaching staff similar, or will you be watching?
I didn't remember about that. You gave me an idea, but but the idea was to watch it with my kids. But I don't know what I'm gonna do.
James?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on Aaron again. Can he adapt to what you want from a goalkeeper, or is the team going to have to change their approach with him in goal?
Not only that, he can adapt. He has proven that he can perform really well to what I want and what we want.
So does he have a chance of keeping his place? Do you tell him that going into this weekend, this is your chance, or does he know already this is kind of a one-off?
We don't have that kind of conversation with players. Not with Aaron, with any other player in the field. I play today and you have a chance to play next week. That doesn't happen.
Obviously, facing Brentford brings you against Ivan Toney. He's a player you've been linked with a lot in the past. Obviously, nothing happened in January. That kind of speculation's gone quiet now. Can you rule out a move for Ivan Toney in the summer?
I don't talk about any other player, because if not, I have to be ruling out every player in the market, because we are with a lot of players. That's it.
I'll try and phrase this first question so you might be able to get a positive answer from you with team news. Is there anything positive you can tell us?
I guess the positive is that Bruno Buemo is getting closer. It will still be, the aim will still be after the international break, and hopefully he will be available for the Man U game.
I was here last week and you interjected on one of my questions when I was talking about relegation, and you said, we are staying in the Premier League. I just want to get that out there. Did that feeling get reinforced further with that performance against Chelsea?
It was definitely a very good feeling after the game. I thought it was a very good performance overall, especially second half, and also that bounce back mentality I talked about. So bouncing back from a bad performance, but also in the game where we're going 1-0 down and coming back and leading 2-1, I thought was very impressive, and the players deserve a lot of credit. So I got a big belief in the players and the team, and they showed why I should have a big belief.
It's a totally different proposition now with Arsenal. Does it get much tougher in the current Premier League form-wise than Arsenal away?
No, I don't think so. I think, if you say form-wise, momentum, then they are right up there. I think it's clear it's Arsenal, Liverpool and City. They are ahead of the rest. And right now, maybe maybe Arsenal are performing to the absolutely maximum. I've stopped counting the goals they've scored, and some of you probably got it. The number is how much?
31 in the last 7.
31 in the last 7. That's more than 4 per game or something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Ooh, wow, that's impressive. So I guess it needs to be pretty good to defend. 31, very impressive. But we trust ourselves. We believe in ourselves. We know what we're about and what we can do. But of course, they deserve a lot of praise. I would say Arteta, its coaching staff, and the players. It's clearly that they have improved from last year, and I don't know exactly how you do that, but they managed to have a okay first part of the season, but they look so much stronger now. And I know we're not in the run-in, but we know the title will be decided in March, April, and of course May. But so they look so strong coming into it. So I think that's a combination of all of them learning, young team, young squad. Got more experience, and then just on the performances they look very, very strong. So I think the job they all have done together is very impressive.
You always give them a game though.
Yeah.
Does that give you confidence, and is that the kind of message you'll be telling your players?
Yeah. We know that we hopefully can do it again. I would say that I said that to the players. The good news, we always give them a game. The bad news is that they've never been better. So we need to put a top performance out there to get something out of the game. No doubt about that. And they know they have to beat us. So of course I'm pretty sure they are happy to take the pressure on them, and they know they need to beat us to still be in the title race. Yeah.
A couple of interesting subplots. One is, of course, no David Raya for Arsenal. Aaron Ramsdale will play in goal. Is that something potentially you can exploit? Not the fact that how you rate the 2 goalkeepers, but maybe Arsenal are used to a certain style of play with David Raya behind them. Is that something maybe you can exploit?
Yeah, we saw it last time. I don't think they changed their style of play. They want to dominate. They want to control the game. They want to build from behind. But and they know we will when we can, we'll try to press high. They know that we'll try to press as much as possible. But the most teams they go a little bit longer then. So they probably just go a little bit longer. So I don't think it'll change that much.
Here comes the Ivan Toney question. He's been linked.
Only one. Only okay, good. Yeah.
He's been linked very strongly with Arsenal.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity, I guess, for him to shine like it has been since he's come back. But is there a danger maybe he could try too hard? And is that something that you might need to sit down with him and speak about, or is that not a concern?
It's definitely something that I don't speak with Ivan before games about a specific opponent, or for whatever reason. The reason I speak to him is because I haven't been pleased with his performance in the previous game, or that we need him at his absolute best in the coming one. And again, there's a lot of rumors about a lot of things. I know Ivan very well, and he's focusing on one thing: perform, do everything to help the team, hopefully score a few goals, and that'll be it.
I mean, it's a tough ask if they're going to have those injuries ahead of that game. Even though it's at Anfield, and City don't have a good record there under Guardiola.
I just had a really crazy thought. Can both of them lose? It just came into my head. But no,
Stay with us for more.
I look at it.
That's analysis.
Can both of them lose for Arsenal, please? No, but the thing on the same day.
Do Arsenal want to draw then?
No, we want them both to lose. No, but the thing is, you look at it from Liverpool's point of view. Is it
at Anfield?
At Anfield? Come on, man. Liverpool
8
at this
games for
stage.
Pep Guardiola for Manchester City.
I fancy
1
Liverpool.
win, 5 defeats.
I fancy Liverpool, Rach. I would do.
Even if, I mean, what's the situation with players coming back? Are we expecting Salah to be back, Szoboszlai to be back?
Yeah. Szoboszlai, I'm not so sure. Salah, I think, will be back. Nunes, we think, will start.
It's just the City again. At the moment we're seeing match winners coming to the fore in Phil Foden. De Bruyne will probably be playing that. The fact is that yes, we know what City are capable of with Haaland. but they're playing Liverpool at this stage of the season. And you know, Liverpool have to try and win or definitely not lose. It's going to be like, it's the game of the season for me now.
Well, until they go to the Etihad and play Arsenal.
Which will be the game of the
season.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, you know, March is huge for the title race because Manchester City, as we've been saying, play Liverpool at Anfield, Arsenal at the Etihad. There is a huge game that we're going to talk about in a second that's going to be coming up next weekend between Tottenham and Aston Villa, which is going to be huge for the Champions League qualification. By the end of March, the game between Arsenal and Manchester City and Arsenal is the 31st of March. By the end of March, we could have a really clear idea of where the title's going to be going.
Yeah, City plays.
Why are you smiling? You love this bit, don't you?
This is it. This is where it starts happening. I just got a goosebump there. Go on, Darren. Sorry.
I was about to say City play 5 of the top 7. So obviously they've got a big hand in determining a number of things. But I think Liverpool's home record will come into play. It's fantastic so far this season. I think Arsenal's superior defence to the both of them is going to come into play. They've got the best defensive record in the Premier League so far.
And they've been really building on their goal difference as well because of that. So playing Sheffield United this evening,
it's really going to help.
You feel like if they can get a lot of goals against them, which we know Sheffield United are capable of conceding, that could help. Should it come down to
Sheffield
those
United conceded 66 goals in 26 games. You have to go back to Ipswich in 1964 for the last team to concede as many goals by this stage of the season. I think Arsenal tonight, the expectation and respect to Sheffield United, of course, but the expectation is against a team that's been conceding 5s and 6s and 8s. Arsenal are expected to score big tonight. But I just think in terms of the race itself,
in the Sheffield United team talk, I think.
But they did. It was last weekend when they had the game against Aston Villa, and it looked as though Villa did wipe the floor with them. But then following on from that, they at times have looked quite resilient. There have been signs under Chris Wilder that they can be resilient for periods in games.
And what we've seen with Arsenal, as well, is that they can struggle with a low block if that's what he's going to do. They're going to have to be very disciplined in it. We saw it like Porto in the Champions League, but if Sheffield can do that and frustrate Arsenal, then we'll see, because you'll see that at one stage all 4 guys up front weren't scoring. It was a massive problem. Got a great defender who couldn't score. Now they're scoring. Now they have to make sure that in a game like this, again, if it's 1-0, Arsenal fans take that, because you have to win at this stage. Yes, they've scored some goals to build up the goal difference. This game, I'll take 1-0 and a battering, but as long as they win, I don't care.
It's definitely impressive. 31 goals in 7 games at the start of the year. Arsenal are on fire. There is no other way to say it.
No, I mean, like I said earlier, this is a great opportunity for them. Massive psychological opportunity as well to go top, international break, and then play Man City directly after. But like I said, it's not a disrespect on Brentford, but if you're talking about Arsenal who've got aspirations to win the Premier League, you look at the form that Brentford have, you're expecting Arsenal, after everything they've done since 2024, to win this game and go into the weekend top of the table. So, yeah, it's great. And but the one thing I would say is Brentford will play a formation that will try and stifle them. I think we saw in the game against Sheffield United, it was naive to play with a back 4. Brentford play with a back 5, and I think that will give them protection. I think they'll be more physical against Arsenal, and set pieces, they're also pretty good at them as well. So I don't think it will be a foregone conclusion like we've seen with the other Arsenal games, but I still fancy Arsenal to come through, and they have to if they want to win this title.
From a psychological point of view, for Arsenal last season compared to right now in this title race, not many people are really talking about them. They have to, because mathematically they are there and they are still very much in with the shout. It feels like the pressure is off them. Everyone's talking about Man City, everyone's talking about Liverpool, and they seem to be flourishing in that environment.
Yeah, it's like they've got medium pressure. They're not the hot topic. Yeah. They're sort of brewing in the background, but everyone is talking about Klopp last season, what Liverpool can do. Everyone's talking about Pep and City because they always do, and they know that they're so strong in the run-in. So, yeah, I do think maybe they're benefiting from a lot of that, but I do think their goal-scoring form is putting them on the map, because they're doing these huge performances, doing what they did to Sheffield United on a Monday night, on, you know, prime time TV. I think that gets people talking and noticing. And I do think what feels different about them this season is that defensive record. The defensive record is so good. And with that foundation, I think that just gives them so much confidence. It's interesting, obviously, they won't have David Raya for this game. So Ramsdale's going to be back in goal. That might unsettle them a little bit. But also Brentford...
Shouldn't, though, should it really?
Well, I think it unsettled Arsenal initially with Arteta thinking that he could maybe go one step further than football was really ready for.